Welcome on Watches TV, and tonight we're just a few minutes away from the award ceremony, the GPHG 2024, where we'll know all the results of the different categories. We'll be going and doing interviews of most of the winners, well, as many as possible. And after this little interview session, I will always also come back, but in a different setting, on my experience as a jury member. And I will tell you everything about it, how it went, and maybe it's a little bit of the behind the scenes of this thing. So let's go and now enjoy the ceremony. And now the results with some short commentaries, very short. Very cool piece, a bit on the rough side, but original, just cool. Second prize for them, nicely done with a little Daniel Ross feeling to it. Original for sports watch, different, fair retail price. Beautiful watch, happy for both of these guys. Well, this one was quite obvious. Very nice piece, and the first of many for Van Cleef. Magical execution, but you have to have it in your hands to grasp this. Then again, truly poetic and playful at the same time, well done. Hey, again, well, there's just so much craftsmanship demonstration with this piece. Bravo to the artisans. Simple and nicely executed, Edward wants the streamliner to become an icon. Well, what would be the GPHG without Carey winning something? Stunning piece. Incredible timepiece, could have won the big one. Classy, elegant, beautifully executed, what else? An homage piece, they must be happy with this one. Viva watchmaking, c'était obligatoire. Innovative, impressive, well done. When revelation meets tradition. Everything is audacious with this piece. Bravo. Well, that was expected and totally deserved. Happy for them, Chopin are serious about their footprint, completely deserved, and great piece, by the way. Oh yes, the man himself, what a year for him, just really happy for him. And now the big prize for a big brand. Congrats to the development team for this spectacular achievement. Well, that was a rather funny experience, and I guess now we'll be in for those interviews we've been talking about. But yeah, a funny experience, I must say, enjoyable. But again, I will explain everything a little bit more in the future. N'est-ce pas?
So you won the prize. How do you feel about your prize?
Should I start? Like always, super excited. A great reward, recognizing the work from the peers. So yeah, I'm excited to bring it back to our colleagues in Schaffhausen.
Yeah, it's a great emotion because we looked and redesigned a watch that was like iconic and very famous. So we were very scared about what people would think, and the clients, but now the Academy and the world from Horlogerie awarded it. So we're very, very proud.
You're golden free people because it's a grand complication, a time only, and the iconic watch.
I feel good, so good. No, really proud for really all my team. Denis Flageolet, that is the master watchmaker, working very hard, always very humble, and for us is really a great recognition, and especially in this category, complication for men. But
Yeah. For sure, now it's time to drink champagne.
Thank you, and celebrate Calvin. Thanks to him, we're here.
tout à fait. Thanks to Calvin.
Cheers to
And
Calvin.
congrats for you.
Bravo.
Congratulations on winning the prize. Exceptional watch. How do you feel?
I feel honored, very touched for my artisans, my family, for all the people contributing to keep and strengthen the spirit of the House of Boyer, where tradition, values, beauty, a deep sense for detail with good taste, and pushing that boundary every time possible of more beautiful, complicated mechanics without selling the soul of the house, what it is since 200 years. And the prowess one, again, is that beautiful mixture between art and then innovation and then beautiful mechanics. So it's very touching.
How long did it took to develop this timepiece?
The idea, half an hour, the movement itself, 5 years, and all the timepiece, nearly 6.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Yes, absolutely. It takes time. It's all about time and patience and the love to do the things rightly, properly, for the most beautiful expression of time and your collectors.
The perfect description of the Swiss watchmaking.
Absolutely. And it's a patrimony, a national one that we need and which deserve to be defended.
Congratulations once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you also.
So congratulations on winning like 3 prizes. It's amazing. It's an amazing achievement for Van Cleef. How do you feel?
Very, very proud and very surprised, I have to say, because the 3 prizes was 3 territory of expression that we want to cultivate. We are not on a lot of different other expression on the men, on mechanical. It's really about always a piece of art, always know-how, and trying to find some way to tell the story with the time, that with a poetic complication. So we quite usually we are part of this small group every year, but at 3 prizes in the same year, very surprising. I don't have preferred children among the 3. There are 3 incredible watchers, and yes, very proud for the team.
It's a celebration of women.
It's a celebration of women, you're right. It's, yes, one of the signature of the Maison to not women, but to find territory of expression which are very sensible, very poetic, very nice, very welcoming. Flowers, butterfly, always trying to find stories. So, okay, people who are wearing these pieces are more and more women, and many women, but we all are moved by these pieces.
But the work of art has no gender.
Yes, exactly. That's the point.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations on winning the prize.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah. We are very, very happy because chronometry, and we got the prize for the chronometry, is something what is really on my heart. Everybody should know that chronometry, the precision time measurement, started with the seafarers in 1700 somewhere, when they needed to orientate on the open sea the global position. Today we have the GPS, that's of course much easier, but the base of precise timekeeping is based on the GPS data, and to find the direct and correct position needs extremely precise timekeepers.
And you have like triple precision this time.
No, it's not a triple precision.
Certificate.
It is, yes. There are people, they criticize the COSC certification and other certifications, and they tell that is only valued in the moment when the certificate is established. And I wanted to show that this must not be like that, that you can give a watch one after the other to the different observatories, to the COSC certification, and then we give it to 3 observatories. So a procedure that takes around 6 months, and from the beginning, from the first épreuve until the last, these watches have to stay on the same level of quality of precision throughout all their power reserve during all the time. And to achieve this is just nothing else than the proof that with handmade watches you can achieve a superior quality if you are in that profession with your heart.
A truly exceptional timepiece and well-deserved prize.
Thank you so much.
So, exceptional prize for an exceptional watch, truly exceptional watch. How do you feel?
I'm lost for words, honestly. This is fantastic. You know, we've been working on this watch for such a long time, and to be recognised for watchmaking at this level of GPHG for IWC it's just unreal. And I'm lost. I don't know what to say.
But it's a well-deserved prize. How did you come to this idea to create this complicated watch?
Well, as you know, we've been making perpetual calendars for a long, long time, and for us it was always logical to push this one step further and to actually be able to create a calendar that goes all the way to the end of the calendar that we know, and to push our moon phase accuracy to something ridiculous. We didn't quite expect it's going to turn out 45 million and a world record, but we take it. So it's just been an amazing project.
So you said the standards are super high. What should we?
And I always think it's just amazing because nobody needs that in their life. It's just because we can, as human beings, we can come up with stuff like that. And this is what our industry is so fascinating, that you have individuals and watchmakers who just come up with ideas of solutions to problems where sometimes we don't even know those problems exist. And that's the beauty of fine watchmaking.
That's a true watchmaking. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, and as promised, I will come back indeed on my experience as a jury member. And but before going into this, I will just want to do a little recap on the entire GPHG process. First, watches can be selected by the Academy members, and then the GPHG will propose these to the brands themselves, who can accept or not to participate. And obviously, some of the big names don't want to participate too much. I guess some people don't want to be compared, but that's another issue. Otherwise, it's actually the brands themselves that propose their watches in the various categories. Academy members then are asked to make a kind of a pre-selection of these watches to reach to this ultimate number of 6 watches per category. Then, the watches that have been pre-selected are obviously presented. They go on a little world tour, which is quite a nice thing because you can get really your hands on them. And then the jury will meet. So this year we were approximately 30 members there, and coming from various horizons. I mean, you had watchmakers, you had retailers, you had obviously quite a lot of journalists, watch scholars, and people that were either selected directly from the president of the jury, Mr. Nick Fultz, or that were kind of randomly selected, that were people that are obviously part of the Academy. So we got to sit on different tables. We were 6 at around each table, and we got all the watches per category that were laid on the table for us to discuss. And it was actually really interesting because you could see some exchange. And of course, I mean, there's nothing better than to be able to actually see the watches really up close and personal, feel them, touch them, play around a little bit with them. And it gives you really a different experience. So basically we get about 10 minutes per category to play around with these watches. And during these minutes, I mean, it's again a very interesting moment because people come with their different views, different horizons regarding some of these pieces. Some people are very knowledgeable about them, some other a bit less. And so there's a lot of education actually going on around that moment. I always try to remember that one also needs to take a little bit into account the price of such pieces that were presented per category, because sometimes you have a very big gap and it's a little bit complicated to judge, different things that are, I mean, some things are just in a different league in a certain way. So you have to, balance this out with the price, which I think is something that is also quite important. Nonetheless, after this little 10 minutes, we get to vote. And this is obviously very neutral and independent, and there's no one that is really kind of taking over the table and putting you in a seat where you have to follow their advice or whatsoever. Everybody does exactly how they want, and you basically rank the watches, those 6 watches, giving scores from 10 for the first one, the one that you prefer, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. So obviously the one that has the highest point has quite an advantage there. And but you don't know what, again, the people around you on this table have voted, and obviously on the other tables around you, of course not either. So after 10 minutes we change categories, try to respect a certain order, and it takes the entire morning, a bit more than that actually. Then we went out for lunch, which was very nice, still talking a little bit about watches and about, also meeting people, because I mean, most of those jury members, I didn't know them necessarily personally, and so it was really nice to be able to be in this position of being able to talk and discover where they came from and how their interest in watchmaking came into being and all those kind of things. We go back into the jury room, and that was actually held in the museum, Museerat, which is just like 200 meters from our office here in the old town of Geneva. And that's where the exhibition of all the selected watches happened during the Geneva Halt. So we go back, and then we had to talk about some kind of open categories, such as Revelation Prize, Audacity Prize. We were also asked if we wanted to present somebody special for the special jury prize, where in that for that prize, I mean, it's only the votes of the jury that count. Because something I didn't mention is that our vote accounts for 2/3 of the final vote. 1/3 comes directly from the Academy members. Some people say this third portion is a bit too much, some people say it's fine, but I think it's really kind of complicated to judge really these pieces only looking at them on pictures, for instance. And I think, unfortunately, that for some, you just go with the one that kind of you like, but you won't understand necessarily the pieces that you have in your that are there competing against each other. Regarding these open categories, like I mentioned, Revelation, there is to kind of celebrate somebody or a brand, obviously, that is has emerged over the last few years. The Audacity Prize is quite an interesting one because, as the name says, it's just how people have a different take on watchmaking. And this year it's Berneron that won, and this one is obviously a very, very different take on what we're accustomed of seeing with round or maybe square watches. I mean, he did something that was indeed rather audacious. Not only audacious in terms of size, but also in terms of design, but also in terms of how he, kind of made the jump of creating this watch, had a comfortable situation designing watches for some big brands, and then he said, okay, well, let's go the entrepreneurial route and fill his artistic need to express himself through the watch that was presented, and that won the Audacity. So next is the jury prize, the special jury prize, like I mentioned, and here too all jury members can propose names of people or institutions. There were a few on the table. And again, even there, I mean, you don't know who is going to win ultimately. And the big one, obviously, the Aiguille d'Or. Here too, we make different propositions. We narrow it down. So there's a first round of votes. So basically, I mean, we were writing approximately, there were about 10 watches that fitted according to the standards of the different people that were in this jury. And this was narrowed down to a list of approximately, we voted. The list was narrowed down to 3 watches, if I'm not mistaken. And then you vote again, and we just don't know what's going to happen. And ultimately, I mean, yesterday during the ceremony, there was a few things where I was a little bit surprised, but it was, a nice surprise. But overall, I have to say that it was really, really an interesting experience for me, and a much more pleasurable one that I had anticipated. So I wish, hopefully, I will be able to do this again, because I really actually quite enjoyed it, as you can see on my face. The fact of giving a prize with my good friend Philippe Dufour was also obviously a nice little treat for me, and it was a fun moment to be really this time in front and seeing the entire audience just sitting there. There were quite a lot of people, and it was the last time that this ceremony will happen in this theater because it's going to be renovated next year. So we'll see where the next event will take place. So, well, I hope you understand a little bit more of how things went. And my personal little wish is really if we could have some of our cameras within this jury room so we can be a little bit even more transparent on how things are working, because we hear sometimes, about the GPHG that people are there's too much collusion or anything like that. But having witnessed it from inside, I really didn't feel that at all. It was really kind of, again, open, neutral, independent, impartial. Again, people come with their opinion, and that's why we're there for. But ultimately, I think the overall process is a very healthy one. And there was a notary that was there just to supervise everything. So I don't think there are much questions regarding the voting process of the jury. Everything was just absolutely fine. One thing that I could maybe add also is that when you're there and you're really looking at some of these watches, sometimes you feel like some watches didn't belong to the category in which it was competing. And so that was maybe sometimes a mistake from the brands themselves, of putting their watches in the not, like I said, not appropriate category. But I think the GPHG should guide a little bit more, come back to these guys, say, well, maybe, you guys, you should be more, it would be wiser to put your watch within another category. And this was obvious on a few watches there. Another thing, I want to add is that, like I mentioned with these scores, 10, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't want to be controversial, but sometimes you want to give multiple ones, and sometimes you just want to give multiple tens, but you just have to make a choice, and that's the way it is. But nonetheless, again, really a transparent, not as transparent as we would like it, and I hope this will be improved, because I think it will just cut the controversy that some people have in a not necessarily constructive way. But it was, like I said, objective, impartial, neutral, well organized, I must say, and all in all, well, it was a fun experience. So let's go Viva GPHG this time. But ultimately, I think this prize is a deserved prize for the industry. It can obviously be improved. Probably, I don't know exactly where to take, what to do. One maybe little idea. Most of the watches that won, obviously, they are top of their class, so they cost quite a lot of money. And we know today that in the business, one segment that is really kind of suffering is the low-end segment. And you have two categories that are associated with this segment of the timepieces, one under 3,000, the other one between 3 and 10. And maybe there could be like even a little in between, because for the brands that are winning in these categories, I think it really has a very important commercial impact on them. And so to be able to reward a little bit more the differences of pricing within these segment of sub 10,000 could be an interesting thing. Well, I'm open to all your ideas, of course, and see you next year for the GPHG, but we'll see each other before that. See you guys, and Viva Watchmaking.